have here in my hand a 50-foot bundle of Paracord Wonderstring. This is quite possibly the best thing I have ever found. You can do so much with this, it's not even funny. You can make lanyards, you can make bracelets, you can, if you're one of those weird people who wears collars, I'm not gonna judge. You can do so much. 550 pounds, 550 cord. So today, I'm going to show a simple, really simple way of braiding paracord into a lanyard. And I cannot find my cutting utensils. Alright, so what you're going to need, tape measure. And if you want to, I'm not saying you have to, but a little spring carabiner. This is a really small one. I have the average male hand. And just a little ring. Little key ring type deal. Also, something to cut the paracord with would help quite a bit. So, we're gonna make a 6-inch paracord. So we need to measure out 5 feet, or 6-inch lanyard, I should say. So we're gonna need to measure out 5 feet of paracord, 60 inches. $60, simple as that. So we got the 60 inches. I'm trying to move this around. Screw it. I'll just do it this way. Match it up at the end. Just drag it along. So just to measure it out, you just keep pinching and pulling after it's lined up at the end. You always want to let out a little bit more so you know when to stop. Right there, the 60-inch line, or about the 60-inch line, I should say. We're just gonna, crud. We're just gonna snip that, cut it in two. And because I do plan on using this whole bundle, I'm just gonna roll out a little bit, pinch the end, and stretch the outer covering over that area that becomes exposed. Basically bringing the covering a little bit over the insides. We'll just get that out of the way. You're also going to need a lighter. Simple, cheapo 71-cent lighter from Walmart. I don't care. You know, light it up. You're just going to cauterize it. You seal it back up. Seal it back up. And I'm just going to wrap up this bundle I'm not using for now. 5-foot piece I have right here. I'm going to start at the factory burnt end. Pinch it. And just pull the outer covering over the cut end. We're going to do the same thing as we did with the bundle. Take the lighter. If I can get the thing to light, we're going to cauterize the end. Okay, that was crap. Yeah, you're probably going to suffer some burns through doing this, but the end is worth it. I discovered this when I was Well, I didn't exactly discover it, but when I was in high school, my cousin used to do this a lot, and he made quite a few of them. He still does. And now that I'm in college, I found that I get stressed. But this is my outlet. Making a paracord lanyard with a carabiner, little keyring, 5 feet of paracord. The general rule when making a lanyard is if you're going to you always want to cut off 1 inch more than your foot length. So if you want to make a 6-inch lanyard, which isn't very big, but it's big enough, you cut off 5 feet. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the keyring and slip it over the end. It doesn't really matter because you're just going to take the ends, line them up, pull it down till you got the middle, and hold on to the middle. Now, because I cannot measure anything with my eyes for anything, I'm going to take this loop right here with the keyring and measure it out at 6 inches right here. So you have this 6-inch loop, and you have all of this. What you're going to do is you're going to keep in mind that middle. Then you're just going to feed the 2 ends of paracord through it, through the carabiner, like so. Then, because I have my finger in between the 2 separate strands and loop. This is why. You're going to take your right side string, pass it under the loop, and you're going to take the left side, bring it over the right side string, over the loop, and through the hole that was made. You don't want to get the carabiner in there. Then you're just going to pull it, and you're going to work it. You're just going to work that on the way down. It's quite difficult to do this one-handed. And there you have the starter. You have the starting line right there. I'm just going to measure it, make sure it still measures at about 6 inches. It does, kind of, good. Now, since we went right, under, over, we're going to take our left strand, pass it under the loop, then we're going to take the right strand, pass it under the left strand, over the loop, and through the left strand's hole. That's what she said. Just going to pass it through the hole. So you should have something that looks like that. And me, I just like to pull them and make them tighter, whatnot. You know, it helps. Following the same pattern, right strand under loop, over left, left strand under right, over loop, through hole. Now it's supposed to go over the loop, not behind it. You're just going to pull it tight. Then you're just going to keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And keep in mind, towards the end, you might run out of paracord on both sides. If you do, you have 2 options. The first one is to just seal it up, or you can redo it and resize your loop so you can hit as close to the end of this loop as possible. You don't have to. I think it looks a little bit better though. So we're continuing, halfway done, halfway done, halfway done, halfway done. And this doesn't take long at all. I can do one of these, and assuming I don't have to redo it, I can do one of them in about 5 minutes. So I could crank out 12 an hour. Just keep going, It's a relaxing hobby. Very relaxing, If you were like me, you did it before Christmas, did it when you were stressed, and at the end found out you had 42 of them you could send out to friends and family for Christmas presents. Because who doesn't like useful stuff like this? I wish people would make me stuff, but no. So, we're coming towards the end. And once you get about once you get about the fourth one right here, which is a few turns and passes, this is about the 8th time you're on this side, or it's the 4th time you're on this side, you don't really need to push and pull or anything, because it's pretty much set now. So you just continue on. Continue on, continue on. Yeah, you're right, under, left, over, through, hole, in the hole. Let's see. You might come up with something like that, and this is what I was talking about. Here, you can either cut the ends and burn them to the lanyard body, or you could try to force out that last loop, which is what I'm going to try to do. Because the less I waste, the better. If I could just get this shorter one through, I could pull it. Come on, I gotta get the long one through. Alright, this is where you might need to use your teeth. And you have that. Now, all that pushing we did, we can let out that slack, and this is very tough, especially if you're me, who always pulls strands tight. You can pull them and close up that gap on the end. So like I said, take your lighter. Like I was saying, take your lighter. Well, ow. You will suffer burns, trust me. They are not going to be great. They will hurt and burn and everything, but I think the end result is worth it. Once you burn off the nerve endings, you can't feel any more heat. We've got about, let's see, what is that? A little over ½ an inch right here on this little poker router bit. So we're going to cut it down a little bit, pull it, and melt the end. By melting the end, be careful not to catch it on fire because this stuff does not smell wonderful. By melting the end, you can then push it into one of the holes on the lanyard, melting it and sealing it in. So you're going to do it with the other side too. You're going to melt. You're not going to burn, you're just going to melt it. Stop catching on fire. And just, if you want to avoid the burns, just take the back of your lighter and press it in. So, start to finish, there's a paracord lanyard. Hang your keys on it, whatever. And it measures in about 6 inches. Let's see if I can get it in here. Come on, come on. It might be easier if I did it this way. So end to end, almost 6 inches, you know. Almost. Which, you know, it happens. It's never perfect. But there's the lanyard. Lanyard. It's really fun, and